Hi there. My name's Dr. Harper, and what we're going to talk about today is better health through better nutrition. We have a personalized professional approach to personalize a nutritional program just for you. That's right, it's designed especially for your needs. So a lot of us know that we need to take some form of supplement or mineral to help get the nutrients that we need on a daily basis, but we really don't know what to take. And we can't just like do a shotgun approach and take a whole bunch of different things and hopefully something's the right thing to take. You know, if our bodies receive nutrients that it can't use or doesn't need, it actually kicks them out in our urinary system. And so I always like to joke and say, are we keeping the nutritional companies rich by making $1 million urine? You know, if that's all we're doing, that's what we're actually doing is creating $1 million urine. Now, on the flip side of that, what about if we're missing nutrition that we should be taking in our body, but we just don't know that we need it? Okay, so what we're here to do is to find a way to know exactly what your body needs. Now, one of the biggest problems in America today is supplements are used the wrong way. Supplements are used as medicine, and they cannot be used as medicine because supplements are there to support the immune system so the immune system can then attack the problems that we're having in our bodies. Now, we can't take a supplement for certain ailments. So say like you have a headache, take this supplement, or you might have heartburn, so you take this other supplement, or you have cold symptoms and you take another supplement. That's medicine. Okay, we do not treat ailments with supplements. We're there to support the immune system, and remember, they cannot be used as medicine. So let's talk about the difference between medicine and supplements. Medicine, once you start taking it, you're on it for the rest of your life. For example, say you have diabetes and they put you on metformin. How long are you on metformin? Correct, for the rest of your life. And why is that? Because metformin doesn't treat diabetes. Metformin treats the symptoms of diabetes so it looks better on blood work. Isn't that kind of spooky? Where supplements, we take them for a period of time until that supplemental level is built up in our system, then we don't have to take them anymore. Okay? Medicine tends to be synthetic. They're man-made. That's how they can get copyrighted, and that's how big pharmaceutical companies make a lot of money, is they hold patents on the synthetic form of drug, where supplements are naturally occurring. They occur in plants and fruits and vegetables and so forth. So it's a lot less expensive. We just need to extract them out of the plants. Medicine forces your body to change, while supplements work with your body and allow your immune system to do the treatments. Now, to be classified as a medication, it needs to have a side effect, where supplements hardly have any type of side effect. Now, because medicine has side effects, it can then cause problems in other areas of your body, where supplements, because they don't have any side effects, they don't create other problems. They just allow your body to heal the way it's supposed to be. One thing we need to remember is that our body is a complex organism, and there are 5 systems in the body that need to have continual nutrition to stay alive. And these include the heart, the liver, the lungs, the kidneys, and the brain. Now, if any of these 5 systems start lacking in nutritional components, they will steal them away from less vital systems within the body. So let's talk a little bit about that. So when they steal away from other organ systems, we start noticing symptoms in other places showing up. So the first one I want to talk about is for you men. You'll start to notice impotency. This is the number one sign that you have a nutritional deficiency or a mineral deficiency, okay? Because according to your body, That's not an important system in your body to stay alive. Another system that you might notice is some people develop fibromyalgia, where the nutrition is stolen away from your muscles and creating pain and soreness in your muscle groups. Or you might develop chronic fatigue syndrome. Chronic fatigue is actually an adrenal insufficiency. So these organs are lacking in nutrition, so they steal the nutrition away from the adrenal glands, and the adrenal glands now can't function correctly, so we develop chronic fatigue syndrome. Another thing I ask my patients, do you sprain joints easy? Do you twist your ankle? Or do you go out and play tennis and all of a sudden your elbow is really sore? Okay? That's one way that the nutrition is being stolen from your connective tissue in your joints. Or you might notice that you pull muscles really easy. Or, this one I always ask my patients, do you bruise easily? If you do, the nutrition might be getting stolen away from the vascular system, so you might run into a door or bump a table and you notice a bruise shows up. Your body isn't able to function correctly because it doesn't have the right nutrition. So what is our goal at our office? Our goal is to find your problem. And the way we do that is through extensive blood work, urinalysis, and hair analysis. Now we do the blood work and we do about 90 different tests. The blood work is extensive so we can see what your health status is at this time. Hair analysis lets us know what type of toxins are in your body. What's your toxic load? Do we need to do chelation therapy to get that out of your system? So we want to support your body through proper supplementation just for you. And now as we do our treatments, like I said, we do reevaluations every 2 to 3 months, and we modify your treatment as your body gets the nutrition to live correctly. There's a doctor down in Southern California by the name of Dr. Deepak Chopra. In the late 90s, early 2000s, he was the medical doctor to see in Southern California. He's from India, and he prefers to do more of a natural type of a healing. But he stated, the body is the greatest pharmacy in the world. It can create and make any drug, give it in the right dose, and never miss a dose. But it needs the correct building blocks to do so through proper nutrition. So one thing we need to realize is at any given time we have multiple diseases in our bodies. But the reason they don't show up is because our immune system is keeping them under control. They're keeping reins on them so they can't show up. If things start to show up, we know that our nutritional level is starting to go down, our immune system starting to get weak, and diseases are starting to show up. So one thing we need to realize is that there is a new way of thinking in the medical world today. For years, we've been taught that our lives are controlled by our genes. We have a genetic disposition, and say our mother had breast cancer, so we have the gene for breast cancer, we have the gene for diabetes, we have the gene for this, we have the gene for that. And what we have discovered is this is not true. We can change our genetics by changing our environment. There's a doctor who is a medical professor at Stanford University by the name of Dr. Bruce Lipton. And he's been teaching since the 1990s that it's been discovered that it is possible to change our genes by changing our environment. Now, Dr. Lipton's done a couple experiments. One of them that I really like is he took a petri dish and he put living cells on one side of the petri dish, and on the opposite side of the petri dish he put nutrition. He left, and when he came back in the morning, the cells had migrated over to the nutritional side and was actually starting the consumption of the various nutritionals. Now on the flip side of that, he took another petri dish, and this time he put healthy cells on one side, but he put toxins on the other side, and he left. When he came back in the morning, what he found was that the healthy cells had moved as far away as possible to get away from the toxins. So they were in a way shutting down to protect themselves from their own environment. So we need to be able to analyze our own environment so we can change the way we live. So this tells us that our body can't take in nutrition and at the same time fight off toxins. It just doesn't work. So we're either going uphill or downhill. You're going to hear me say that quite a bit. Our health is either getting better or it's getting worse. And we need to determine if it is staying on a level playing field, getting better, or getting worse. When we attempt to, an example of what we talk about is, say you take a big cement ball and we attempt to move it across level ground. It takes effort to get it moving, but once it starts moving, it still takes effort, but not as much. Okay? This is similar to our immune system. It takes some effort to get you back on level playing ground where your immune system is nice and strong. But what happens if that cement ball is starting to roll downhill? That's right. It takes a lot more effort to get it back up onto level ground. And that's where I'm concerned about your health, is if you're on the downward hill, it's going to take a lot more effort to get your immune system back functioning correctly. So that's why I say don't wait to get tested. Get tested today so we can find out where you're at. One thing that we like to talk about are what are the components that make up a healthy immune system? Well, they include food, salt, yes, salt, but unprocessed salt. We have to have natural salt, and water intake. We also need regular chiropractic care for neurological help. We need to make sure that those nerves coming out of our spine don't have any irritation or hindrance, and they're able to function correctly. We need to take in the right vitamins and minerals so we have those building blocks for our body to use to make sure our immune systems are working correctly. We need to have proper sleep and proper rest. Now, sleep and rest are not the same. We can fall asleep but not get the rest that we need. So it's important that we get the rest that we need. But the biggest factor that we notice in changing our environment is our stress. We need to take time to reduce our stress level, whether it be prayer, whether it be meditation, whether it be sitting quiet for 5 minutes, just letting your body relax and take in the nutrition that it needs to make sure it can function correctly. There's a quote from the USA Today that states, even though the majority of Americans exercise and eat a proper diet, 90% still fall short in nutrients, including vitamins and minerals. Let me say that one more time. 90%, even though they exercise and eat a proper diet, 90% still fall short in nutrients, including vitamins and minerals. So what about if you're not exercising or you're eating a bad diet? You're not eating the proper diet. Okay? You're going to be higher than that 90% that needs supplements and minerals. So here are a few examples of past clients that have utilized our services. This first patient was a patient of Dr. Merkel back in Ohio, and she presented with stage 4 breast cancer. Now, stage 4 breast cancer is where the cancer is actually metastasized and moved to other systems of the body. So when she came into the office, she came with her cancer marker lab tests, and that one is called CA 27.29. When she presented, her readings were over 145 points. Now we need to realize that anything below 38 is normal. Anything above 38 is abnormal, and she was above 145. Now, she really didn't want to do the radiation and the chemotherapy, so she came to Dr. Merkel and said, is there anything you can do? So Dr. Merkel did the whole workup. He did the blood analysis. He did the the hair analysis, he did the urinalysis, and determined what she needed to be on and started her on the right supplements. Well, in just 2 weeks, her tumor markers dropped 106.9 points. I don't know about you, but in my book, that's a huge drop. Now, because of this, she refused to do chemotherapy and radiation because of the results that she was obtaining. Now, after a 1-year update, she said that her cancer markers had dropped down to 19.5. Now, remember, an abnormal reading is anything above 38, and she was well below that 38 marker. So they did a CT scan to see where the cancer was, and guess what? She didn't have any cancer in her breast anymore. She didn't have any cancer in her liver anymore. She didn't have any cancer in her lungs anymore, and she didn't have any cancer in her spine anymore. But she still had tumors in her breast, but they weren't cancerous. So we're still trying to work and get those tumors under control as well. The next patient I want to talk about is a guy that came in that had diabetes and high blood pressure. After doing our analysis and getting him on the right nutritional products, his triglycerides dropped 129 points. Like I said before, I don't know about in your book, but 129 point drop is pretty big in my book. And he stated that he had a lot more energy and could do stuff. And he reported that he was off, his medical doctor had taken him off all 6 of his medications. But this is my favorite part, is his glucose levels dropped from an average of 274 down to 120. And according to the blood work, his thyroid function was also improving. And he had no idea he had problems with his thyroid. But it was showing that there was improvement in his thyroid readings. But one thing that he did notice was in 3 months, he lost 30 pounds, which is pretty remarkable. Just by being on the right nutrition, he didn't have the inflammation and swelling in his body. And the last one is a lady that presented with fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue. Now remember what fibromyalgia was: pain and discomfort in your muscles. Okay, that's what myalgia is, pain in the muscles. And chronic fatigue is adrenal insufficiency. The adrenal glands can't work correctly, so we're tired all the time. After putting her on the right supplemental program and changing her diet and changing her exercise program, her liver enzymes presented within normal limits after 3 months. Her thyroid showed improvement and is still showing improvement, and she stated that her allergies were almost completely gone. Now, a 6-month update, she said that she was dismissed by her neurologist because her neurologist could find no signs of fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue, so he just released her from care. She stated that she dropped down to just 1 medication, and the nodules that were on her thyroid she thought she was going to have surgery to remove actually dissolved and disappeared. Once we understand that we are not treating a disease process, but treating the immune system and allowing your immune system to work correctly, things can actually clear up and disappear. So one thing you've got to ask yourself is, what are you going to do today? A lot of times I hear, hey doc, I'm just going to wait and see how my health goes for the next 2 or 3 months. I always tell my patients, look back on your last 3 months. Has your health gone uphill or has it gone downhill? If you're on that downhill track and we wait another 2 months, you're even going to go further down that downhill track. And so to get your immune system back up to normal levels, it's going to be even more work. So don't put your health on hold. We need to find out what your health status is today and how we can improve it today. Okay? Now, do you realize that most people will spend more money on their vehicles than they do on their own bodies? And I had talked about a patient the other day about this, and he says, yeah, but I needed my car to go to work. And I said, yeah, but you need your body to stay alive. if we put it into that thing, shouldn't we be willing to spend more money on our body and our health than we do on our vehicles that we spend 2 to 3 hours a day in at most? So once I give you recommendations of supplements, we need to take all of the supplements. Now, in certain instances, you might receive multiple different vitamins and minerals. And that is because your health status has gone downhill. Now, I've had patients come and present to me and say, so doc, I can't take all of these supplements. Which ones are the most important? And I look at them and say, you know what, if you can't take them all, don't take any. Because there's what's called a catalytic environment. A catalyst is where you take two different substances, put them together, and the end result is both of them work even better. So the recommendations I give you are with a catalytic environment in mind, that the supplements all work together to improve your health even faster. So don't say which supplements are most important. You know, there's nothing that's the most important. They all need to be taken. So how much does it cost to find out what's going on? So let me put things into perspective. If you used your insurance and you went and got all the blood work done, just the blood work, no hair analysis, no urinalysis, just the blood work, you would probably pay about $800 just in copays. Okay? Now, if you were to just go to the lab on your own, say, I don't want to use my insurance, I'll just do it on my own, it would actually cost you anywhere between $2,500 to $3,000 for all the blood work that we're looking at. And once again, that's just for the blood work. That doesn't include urinalysis, hair analysis, doctor analysis, explaining what supplements you need to be on, and careful evaluation of your health status. And one thing on top of that you need to realize is insurance usually will not pay for it, because we're not looking for a specific disease that we can give a pharmaceutical for. Okay? We are looking for your health status. And they don't like to test for health status. They like to test for certain diseases that then they can give drugs for and make money from. Does that make sense? So we want to find out what your health status is, so it would be your responsibility to pay for the blood testing. Now, one thing I need to tell you is, because I work with such a large group of doctors, we get a certain price break on the blood work. And so, no, we're not going to charge you $800. No, we're not going to charge you $700. No, we're not going to charge you $600. Okay? I'm not going to say how much we're going to charge you, because that's a personal thing, and I just don't want to put it out in front of everyone. But make an appointment, come in, let's discuss your health status, and we can determine what testing needs to be done. So in our office, we usually charge just one flat rate fee, and it includes an examination with myself, Dr. Harper, and we go over your height, your weight, your symptoms, your medicines that you're on. Do you realize that the medicines that you take can actually deplete nutrition in your body? So we go through your medicines to see if they are depleting nutritional substances within your body. We then do the extensive blood work, large amount of blood work, just to see what your health status is. Then we do a hair analysis, and then after we do all that, we take the report and make a report personalized just for you. And now the report's really easy to read. When we look at the blood work, we'll see 4 different colors. White is you're totally normal. Yellow means that your body is out of balance in the functional range. Okay, it's below medical ranges, but it's in functional ranges. It tells us if we jump on it now, we can get the body back to normal. Okay? Red means that your blood is out of medical ranges. We're having problems. And blue means we're really seriously having problems. We need to get things taken care of right away. And when I give you that report, it's really easy to read, and I encourage you to read it over and over and over again so you understand what your health status is and what we need to do. So what I encourage you to do today is to call my office at 801-336-0116 and make an appointment. Let's find out if you're on the downhill slope and we need to jump in and start pushing. Let's get your body back and get your health and your immune system functioning the best it can so you can enjoy your life with your kids, with your grandkids, and just enjoy life in general. So once again, call my office at 801-336-0116 and make an appointment today. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I look forward to talking to you in the future.